The Denver airport was a labyrinth of rushing travelers, rolling suitcases and distant announcements echoing across the high ceilings. It was the holiday season, and the terminals thrummed with anxious energy, families dragging oversized luggage, business travelers absorbed in their phones, and children tugging at their parents' sleeves. Emily Matthews maneuvered through the chaos, her hand gripping the wrist of her 7-year-old daughter, Lily, who skipped ahead with wide-eyed excitement. Today was special. It was Lily's first flight alone with Emily, a short holiday trip to visit relatives in Florida. In her other hand, Emily held the leash of Milo, their golden retriever, calm and composed as ever. Milo wasn't just a pet. He was Lily's emotional support dog, trained to detect anxiety, sense distress, and provide comfort during overwhelming situations. Over the past 2 years, he had become indispensable. Lily's shyness and occasional panic attacks made airports a nightmare, but with Milo she could breathe, smile, and even laugh. The dog trotted beside them, fur gleaming under the fluorescent lights, his tail wagging lazily, eyes attentive. Travelers smiled as they passed, some stopping to pet him. He was a professional traveler in his own right. Emily checked her watch, 20 minutes until boarding. They approached gate C12, the crowd thickening as passengers queued to board. Lily tugged on Emily's sleeve, squealing, "Can we go now? Can we go now?" Milo nudged her gently, as if sensing her excitement and trying to keep her grounded. Emily chuckled. "Almost, baby, let's line up." The boarding area smelled faintly of coffee and jet fuel, the mix strangely comforting to Emily. As they reached the gate, something strange happened. Milo froze. His ears shot straight up, tail stiffened, and his entire body tensed. Emily barely had time to react before he stepped forward, planting himself squarely between Lily and the gate entrance. His soft whines turned into a low, guttural growl that reverberated through the terminal. Heads turned. Passengers paused mid-step, some clutching their boarding passes, eyes wide. A woman's coffee cup trembled in her hands. "Milo, what's wrong?" Emily whispered, bending down to stroke him. He didn't respond to her touch. His growl deepened, throat vibrating with something Emily had never heard before. He wasn't threatening anyone, he wasn't aggressive, he was warning. But warning of what? Emily's stomach knotted. She had trained with him daily. She knew the difference between playful growls and alarmed ones. This was instinct, primal and urgent. "Ma'am, is your dog okay?" an airline agent asked, approaching cautiously. Her badge read Harrison, and he looked like he had seen every airport chaos scenario possible. His eyes scanned Milo's rigid posture, lips pursed. "He's blocking the gate." Emily nodded, voice tight. "I don't know, he's never done this before. He won't let Lily pass." She knelt, trying to coax him with her hands. "Come on, Milo, it's okay. We need to board." But Milo's reaction escalated. He barked sharply, the sound cutting through the hum of the terminal, causing a mother to drop her child's backpack in fright. His eyes were locked on the jet bridge, nostrils flaring as if detecting something invisible. Emily instinctively stepped in front of Lily. "Stay behind me, baby," she said softly. Lily's smile faltered, replaced by a growing confusion and fear. A TSA officer arrived, his expression professional, though the twitch in his jaw betrayed a hint of unease. "Ma'am, control your dog. We can't have passengers being blocked." Emily tried to calm Milo. She tugged the leash gently, speaking soothingly. "It's okay, Milo, just a little further, okay? We're going to board." Milo's head snapped toward her, eyes wide, teeth bared slightly in warning, but not at her, at the gate itself. He pulled with incredible strength, nearly dragging Emily backward. Her heart pounded in her chest. Lily stepped closer, tears welling in her big brown eyes. "Milo, what's wrong?" Her small voice trembled. Milo lowered himself slightly, growling in a way that seemed almost conversational, a desperate warning. Emily's pulse raced. She had never felt this fear before, not for herself, not for Lily, not even for Milo. Passengers whispered among themselves, some filming the scene on their phones. A man muttered, "Why is the dog acting like that? What's going on?" Others simply froze, unsure whether to approach or stay away. The airport felt suddenly surreal, the bustling crowd fading into the background as Milo's warning created a bubble of tension. Then, without warning, Milo bolted. He yanked the leash from Emily's hands and sprinted toward the gate, his nails clicking sharply against the polished floor. Emily's legs pumped frantically to catch up. "Milo, stop, come back." But the dog ignored her, barreling toward the jet bridge door as if propelled by an unseen force. Passengers scattered out of the way, some stumbling over carry-on bags, others gasping in shock. Airline agents shouted, running to intercept him. Harrison raised his hands. "Stop, what is he doing?" Milo skidded to a halt just inches from the jet bridge entrance. He planted himself firmly, growling and barking with renewed ferocity, hackles raised, nose pointed at the doorway. The growls were now frantic, urgent, an alarm Emily had never heard from Milo, not even during a thunderstorm or fireworks. He was signaling something serious. Emily reached him, breath ragged, and hugged him. "Milo, what is it? Please tell me," she whispered into his fur. But the dog wouldn't calm. He shook his head, ears pricked, tail rigid. Something beyond the human senses had triggered him. Passengers craned their necks, murmuring nervously. A man in a business suit whispered urgently, "Is there a bomb?" Emily's stomach twisted. She wanted to dismiss it, to assure everyone it was nothing, but the truth gnawed at her. Milo wasn't wrong. He had never made mistakes. As the airline supervisor arrived, radio in hand, Emily noticed the way Milo's eyes darted toward the service panel beneath the jet bridge. He sniffed the air rapidly, taking a defensive stance. Something, just beyond that metal door, had set off instincts honed for life-saving precision. Minutes passed that felt like hours. The entire terminal seemed to hold its breath. Milo's growls echoed against the walls, a warning that refused to be ignored. Emily knelt beside Lily, holding her close. "He's trying to protect you," she whispered, trying to sound confident though panic tightened her chest. Lily hugged Milo tightly, burying her face into his golden fur, tears slipping silently down her cheeks. Then, as if sensing the escalating tension, Milo let out a long, low howl, eyes fixed on the jet bridge. The sound carried across the terminal, freezing passengers mid-step. A hush fell over the crowd. Phones lowered, coffee cups steadied. Even the flight attendants appeared tense, unsure of what was unfolding. Emily looked at Milo, heart hammering. "What are you trying to tell me, boy?" Milo barked again, insistent, urgent. Harrison glanced nervously at the other airline staff, then at Emily. "Ma'am, do you think we should?" His question hung in the air as Milo lunged forward suddenly, barking directly at the metal door. Passengers gasped. Emily clutched Lily close, her mind racing. He's never acted like this before. Never. And yet there was no mistaking it. Milo had detected something dangerous, something critical. And just as Emily opened her mouth to call for more assistance, Milo let out a final, piercing bark, a sound that cut through the terminal, sharp and full of warning. The boarding gate agent froze, eyes wide, as if they had just realized the enormity of the situation. Milo's growls escalated again, trembling but unwavering, as he planted himself firmly between Lily and the jet bridge. Emily's heart stopped. Whatever lay beyond that door, Milo had sensed it. And in that instant, Emily knew that whatever danger was coming, Milo would stop it. The terminal fell silent except for Milo's frantic warning, the kind of sound that could only mean imminent danger. Emily's hands tightened on Lily's shoulders. The crowd waited, tense and uneasy. And then a voice came crackling over the airline radio, calm but carrying an unmistakable edge. "Security, prepare for evacuation at gate C12. Something's wrong." Milo's ears perked even higher. He barked once more, sharp and commanding, as if saying, "Hurry, now." And in that moment, Emily realized. Milo wasn't just stopping her daughter from boarding the plane, he was saving her life. The terminal erupted into controlled chaos. A low hum of uncertainty turned into murmurs, whispers, and panicked gasps as Harrison, the gate agent, raised his hands. "Everyone, please step back. Maintain calm and clear the area around gate C12. Emily tightened her grip on Lily, holding her close to shield her from the swelling crowd. Milo remained planted firmly in front of them, ears pricked, growls resonating deep in his chest. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't playful. He was warning, sensing something invisible, something that no human could yet perceive. Passengers shuffled backward, rolling carry-on bags clattering across the polished floor. A few people dropped items in their rush, purses, laptops, and half-finished coffee cups teetering dangerously on the floor. A man in a business suit almost tripped over a suitcase, swearing under his breath. Children clung to parents, eyes wide, absorbing the sudden tension that had transformed the normally bustling airport into a scene of frozen fear. Emily's heart pounded. She knelt down, holding Lily's trembling hands. "Sweetie, Milo's just being protective. You're safe. He's keeping you safe." Lily buried her face into Milo's soft golden fur, hugging him tightly. Milo's body quivered not from fear, but from the intensity of his alert. He pressed closer to Lily, growling with a mix of warning and insistence, forcing anyone nearby to keep their distance. "Ma'am," the TSA officer said, stepping cautiously toward them, his hand hovering near his holster. "We need to control the dog before we can investigate further." Emily shook her head. "No, Milo knows, he knows. You don't understand, please don't force him." Milo barked sharply, lunging slightly forward, not at the officer but toward the gate itself. The sound was urgent, desperate. His nose twitched as he sniffed the air around the jet bridge door. Emily's stomach knotted further. Something was very wrong. She had trained Milo for years. She knew every nuance of his behavior, and she had never, ever seen him act like this. Behind them, passengers whispered frantically, some filming the scene on their phones. A woman muttered, "Is there a bomb? Oh my God, is there a bomb?" Others muttered about a crazy dog or overprotective owner. But Emily ignored them, focusing solely on Milo and the rapidly escalating danger. The airport intercom buzzed to life. "Attention passengers. Due to a security concern at gate C12, please follow instructions from airport personnel. Evacuate the immediate area if instructed. Do not approach the gate." Emily swallowed hard, her mind racing. "Lily, stay close to me. Hold Milo's leash tightly." But Milo was already in control, his senses heightened, scanning, sniffing, every muscle tense, ready to react. He paced slightly, then stopped abruptly, growling, tail stiff. Emily followed his gaze. Something was there, something hidden, something dangerous. A bomb-sniffing K9 unit arrived, a large German shepherd with a handler. The new dog trotted confidently toward the jet bridge, sniffing the air. Milo stiffened, hackles rising. The other dog stopped abruptly, tail lowering slightly, ears tilted, confused by Milo's unusual signals. The handler frowned. "That dog's acting odd," he muttered, glancing at Milo. "He senses something." Emily's breath caught. "See, he senses it," she whispered, voice trembling. Passengers around them backed away, some shaking their heads in disbelief. "How can a dog?" a man began, but Emily cut him off silently with a glance, urging him to step back. The airline supervisor approached, radio in hand, urgency etched into his features. "We need everyone to evacuate this gate. Now." He looked at Emily. "Ma'am, your dog, he might be detecting something dangerous. Please, get your daughter away from the gate." Emily nodded, heart hammering. She lifted Lily into her arms, Milo pressing close to her side, growling in warning at the closed jet bridge door. The dog's instincts were clear. Something bad awaited behind that metal barrier. A chill ran down Emily's spine. She had never feared so strongly for their lives. Passengers were guided back by officers, forming a protective perimeter around the gate. Some cried. Some whispered frantic prayers. Others argued with airline staff, demanding explanations. Emily focused on Lily, brushing hair from her face. "You're okay, sweetie. Milo's keeping us safe. Don't worry," she whispered, trying to sound calm, though her own nerves trembled. Suddenly, a technician's voice cut through the tension, calm but urgent. We need to inspect the jet bridge. Everyone stay back. Emily's heart skipped a beat. The word inspect did nothing to ease the fear. Every instinct screamed danger. Milo stiffened again, barking insistently, straining at the leash, nose pressed to the gate door. Emily noticed a faint smell in the air, chemical, sharp, almost metallic. She had no idea what it was, but Milo did. She knew it, and the thought that he could sense something invisible, something that human sensors had not detected, tightened the knot in her chest. The bomb squad arrived in heavy protective gear, and passengers stepped back even further. Lights from their helmets illuminated the tense scene. The officers signaled for everyone to remain calm, though their movements betrayed urgency. Emily held Lily tightly, her arms trembling. Milo pressed his side to Emily's, growling, tail stiff, completely focused on the gate. Minutes felt like hours. Emily watched as the bomb technicians carefully approached the gate, their tools clinking against metal protective shields in hand. The air smelled faintly of ozone from their equipment. Milo's growls grew louder, more urgent. He barked once, then twice, as if trying to communicate a specific warning to someone only he could reach. Passengers watched silently, phones held in shaky hands, recording every second. The tension was electric, suffocating. Emily whispered to Lily, "He's stopping us from going too close. He knows something." Lily's face was pale, eyes wide, tears brimming. Milo licked her cheek gently as if to reassure her despite the tension. Then the bomb technician paused, kneeling near the jet bridge entrance. "There's a package," he said quietly, voice edged with disbelief. "It's active." His hands moved with precise urgency, careful to avoid triggering whatever danger lay within. Emily's heart raced. Oh my God, Milo was right. She pressed her forehead to Lily's hair, whispering, "He saved us." Milo let out a final, trembling bark, growling at the package as if saying, "Do not touch, do not go near." Passengers gasped, some crying, some murmuring prayers. The realization sank in. Milo's instincts had detected something even advanced human technology hadn't. His growls, his lunges, his every warning had been accurate. The terminal was a mix of awe, panic, and disbelief. Emily hugged Lily tightly, Milo pressing between them protectively, body tense and alert. The bomb squad worked quickly, carefully, but the tension in the terminal remained unbearable. Every person present felt the weight of the moment, suspended between danger and relief. Then the intercom buzzed again. "Attention all personnel, the gate area is under full lockdown. Stand by for further instructions." Milo barked once, sharply, decisively, as if acknowledging the command, and then waited. Emily stroked Milo's head gently. "You did it, boy. You're a hero," she whispered, tears in her eyes. Lily clung to his fur, hugging him as tightly as she could. But the moment of relief was fleeting. The bomb technician turned, expression grim. "We need to move fast. This is not safe. The device is live and every second counts." Emily's stomach churned. Milo's eyes were fixed on the gate, ears high, body taut with anticipation. She realized with a deep, chilling certainty, the dog wasn't just protecting her daughter from a generic threat. He had detected the exact danger, and it was closer, more real, and more terrifying than anyone could imagine. Passengers held their breaths. Phones were lowered. The terminal seemed to freeze in collective fear. The air was thick with tension, every person present aware that their lives, everyone's lives, hung in the balance. And then Milo let out a final, urgent bark that echoed off the walls, piercing and commanding, as if to say, "This is serious. Move now. Danger is here." Emily clutched Lily and whispered, "Hold on, baby. Milo's got us." But she knew deep down that the next moments would define everything. The atmosphere around Gate C-12 had transformed from bustling holiday chaos into a tense, suffocating bubble of fear. Passengers huddled behind the perimeter set by TSA and airline staff, whispering prayers, consoling children, and exchanging nervous glances. Some clutched their phones, live streaming the scene to friends and family, while others simply froze, unable to comprehend what was unfolding. The smell of coffee and jet fuel had been replaced by the sharp tang of metal and ozone from the bomb squad's equipment. Milo remained at the center of it all, his golden fur standing on end, eyes locked on the jet bridge door. Emily crouched beside Lily, clutching her daughter's small hands. The little girl's face was pale, her body shaking as Milo nudged her with his nose, trying to reassure her. Emily whispered, "It's okay, baby, he's protecting us. Milo's protecting you." But even as she spoke, Emily's heart pounded like a drum, her own fear rising to match Milo's intensity. A bomb-sniffing K-9 unit approached, a massive German shepherd with sleek black fur and a handler in full uniform. The dog sniffed cautiously near the gate, moving forward with a controlled, methodical pace. Milo stiffened, growling, hackles raised. The new dog stopped abruptly, tail lowering slightly, ears tilting in confusion. The handler frowned. "That's unusual," he muttered under his breath, glancing at Milo. "He's sensing something the sensors aren't picking up. This dog knows danger." Emily's pulse quickened. "See," she whispered to herself, voice shaking. "He knows." Lily clung to her arm, eyes wide, and whispered, "Mom, is it going to explode?" Emily swallowed hard, forcing calm into her voice. "I don't know, baby, but Milo will keep us safe. He'll protect us." Milo barked sharply, as if affirming her words. The airline supervisor spoke into his radio, urgency in his tone. "We need to evacuate the gate immediately. Full perimeter lockdown. Security personnel, move passengers back now." Officers guided the crowd, urging them to retreat behind barriers, while some anxious travelers resisted, unwilling to leave their seats or holdups behind. Minutes stretched like hours. The terminal, once filled with laughter, chatter, and the hum of rolling suitcases, now felt like a pressure cooker. Every footstep, every shuffle of luggage, every cough echoed ominously. Emily felt a deep, unsettling sense of inevitability. Whatever Milo sensed wasn't something they could control. It wasn't just a threat. It was imminent. The bomb squad moved cautiously, clad in heavy protective gear, each step measured, tools ready. The team leader, a tall man with a grizzled face, motioned to the other officers. "We need eyes on that jet bridge. Keep the perimeter clear. Move everyone back 10 more feet." Emily hugged Lily tighter. Milo pressed himself protectively against her, whining softly but refusing to leave his position. His instincts were sharp, honed, and unerring. Suddenly, one of the bomb technicians froze near the gate, eyes narrowing. He signaled for the others to halt. "There's something unusual about that area," he said quietly. "We need to proceed with extreme caution." Emily swallowed hard. "He's right," she whispered, looking down at Milo. "Milo been saying that from the start." The technician carefully moved closer to the jet bridge door, tools in hand. Milo growled low in his chest, a sound that made Emily shiver. This wasn't just alertness. It was raw, primal warning. He was communicating danger in a way that transcended words, a language only instinct could convey. Passengers watched silently, some holding their children, some whispering frantic prayers, all frozen in fear. Phones hovered in the air, capturing every second, every tense moment. A mother murmured to her son, "This is real. Something's really wrong." The child, barely 7, clutched her mother's hand, eyes wide as Milo barked again, sharp and urgent. The terminal's intercom crackled to life, the voice calm but edged with authority. "All personnel, evacuate gate C12. Security and bomb squads are assessing a potential threat. Do not approach the gate." The announcement barely registered with most. All eyes were on the dog and the technicians moving toward the gate. Emily felt a cold sweat form at the base of her neck. Milo's fur bristled against her palms as he paced slightly, growling, nose twitching furiously. His instincts were telling him something the humans couldn't see yet. Emily hugged Lily closer. "Hold on, baby. Milo's keeping us safe. Don't move." The bomb squad's leader gestured to a technician who began inspecting the floor and the panel near the jet bridge. Milo barked repeatedly, circling protectively around Lily, growling with increasing intensity. Emily's stomach twisted. She realized with a terrifying clarity that Milo wasn't just reacting to a threat, they were racing against it. Every second mattered. Suddenly, a technician paused, crouched near the jet bridge. He pointed at a small, concealed compartment beneath the metal panel. "There's a bag hidden here," he said, voice taut. "It's unstable, could be explosive." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Emily's heart nearly stopped. Oh my God, Milo was right. She pressed her forehead to Lily's hair, tears threatening to fall. Milo leaned into them, protective, unwavering, as if to say, "We're not done yet." The technician continued cautiously, moving with deliberate precision. The bomb squad leader called out instructions, each word measured, the gravity of the situation palpable. The officers at the perimeter reinforced the boundary, keeping everyone back. Phones were lowered, murmurs faded into tense silence. Emily whispered to Lily, voice trembling, "He saved us, he's keeping us safe. Milo knows what to do." Lily clutched Milo's fur, sobbing softly, and he nuzzled her cheek, offering comfort despite the danger. Then one of the specialists carefully lifted the bag slightly, checking for any wires or triggers. Milo barked sharply, leaping forward, tugging at the leash, refusing to let the technician get too close. Emily tightened her grip, whispering, "I know, Milo, I know. We're okay." The bomb squad leader shook his head, glancing at Milo. "This dog is reacting to something even our sensors didn't detect. He's pinpointed the exact location of the threat." Emily's breath caught in her throat. Milo had done what human technology could not. He had saved them by instinct, by precision, by loyalty. A tense hush fell over the terminal. Everyone waited, breaths held, hearts pounding. The technician examined the bag carefully, moving slowly, deliberately. Every eye was on Milo, whose body was tense, growling low, tail stiff. Emily's hands trembled as she held Lily. "Everyone stay back, do not approach," the squad leader shouted, voice carrying authority. "We are handling a live device." Milo barked once, a commanding, urgent sound, and then pressed himself against Lily, shielding her. Emily's throat tightened. He wasn't just warning them, he was protecting them, putting himself between Lily and imminent danger. The seconds stretched unbearably. Sweat dripped from Emily's forehead. Passengers clutched their loved ones, the weight of fear and awe pressing down. Cameras hovered, capturing every moment, but no image could capture the depth of instinct, loyalty, and bravery embodied in a single golden retriever standing firm against a hidden threat. And then the technician's radio crackled. "We've confirmed it's live. Repeat, live explosive device detected." Emily's world froze. Milo barked again, louder, more insistent, as if screaming, "Move, now, danger is real." Lily's small hands trembled in Emily's, and the little girl pressed closer to Milo, burying her face into his fur. Emily's voice was barely audible, trembling with fear and awe. "Milo, thank you for saving her." Milo barked again, almost as if acknowledging her gratitude, before turning back to the gate, vigilant, unyielding, guarding them against a danger no one else could sense. Passengers whispered, eyes wide, as officers and bomb technicians moved with unprecedented caution, aware now that Milo had seen and sensed something far beyond human perception. The dog had not only detected the threat, he had bought them time, given them a chance. The terminal held its collective breath. Milo's growls vibrated through the floor, a warning to anyone too close and a reassurance to those he protected. Emily tightened her hold on Lily. "Hold on, baby. He's here. He's keeping us safe." And then, a calm, chilling voice cut through the terminal from the squad leader's radio. "Prepare for containment. Evacuation required immediately. This device is unstable. Every second counts." Milo barked sharply, tail stiff, body rigid, as if to say, "This is it. We must act." Emily hugged Lily tightly, pressed Milo's head to her chest, and whispered, "We're not going anywhere without you, Milo. You'll save us. I know you will." And in that moment, the passengers, the airline staff, and everyone watching realized Milo's instincts were not just remarkable. They were life-saving. The terminal had transformed into a scene no one could have imagined just minutes ago. Passengers clustered behind the reinforced perimeter, their faces pale and anxious, every whispered conversation underscored by the sharp growls and urgent barks of Milo. Emily held Lily close, her daughter's trembling hands gripping Milo's fur as tightly as if it were a lifeline, because, in truth, it was. The bomb squad worked methodically, their heavy suits clinking and scraping across the floor, tools clicking and whirring as they approached the jet bridge door. Officers formed a tight barrier around the area, directing passengers further back, but it wasn't enough to ease the collective tension. The hum of the terminal had dropped to a low, suspenseful silence, punctuated only by the occasional electronic beep of a scanner or the sharp bark of Milo, who refused to leave his post. Emily whispered softly to Lily, trying to comfort her, though her own voice quivered. "It's okay, baby. Milo's here. He's protecting us." Lily buried her face in the dog's golden fur, inhaling the familiar scent, clinging to the warmth and security Milo provided. Milo, sensing their vulnerability, pressed closer, letting out a low, warning growl each time a new person approached the perimeter. Passengers, meanwhile, were in a state of controlled panic. Phones were raised, live streams capturing every tense moment. Some whispered prayers, some swore quietly, while others simply stared, frozen in disbelief. Emily could feel the weight of fear in the air. It pressed down like a physical force, making breathing slightly more difficult with every passing second. Then came a murmur from one of the officers at the perimeter. "Ma'am, your dog, he's reacting to something even our sensors didn't pick up. We've got K9 units here, but he's behaving differently. He's focused, precise. He knows what's wrong." Emily's throat tightened. She had suspected as much, but hearing it confirmed still sent a shiver down her spine. "He's never wrong," she whispered to Lily. "Never." The airline supervisor, Harrison, spoke into his radio again, voice tight with urgency. "All personnel remain clear. Security teams, check the jet bridge thoroughly. Evacuate any remaining staff immediately." The words barely registered in Emily's ears. She was too focused on Milo. The dog had been right from the beginning, warning them, protecting them, guiding them away from danger they couldn't yet see. Minutes stretched endlessly as bomb technicians approached the jet bridge door, tools in hand, carefully examining the area. Milo growled and barked, packing in small circles, tail stiff, eyes locked on the door. Emily's stomach churned. Her mind raced with every possible scenario. What if Milo was wrong? What if, no, she couldn't even think it. Milo had saved her daughter countless times in airports, at home, in thunderstorms. He had instincts beyond ordinary dogs. Suddenly, the technicians paused. One of them crouched near the service panel beneath the jet bridge. "There's a bag here," he said quietly, voice tight with disbelief. "It's concealed and it looks unstable." The crowd gasped. Phones snapped down to capture the moment as whispers filled the air. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. "Milo, you were right," she whispered, pressing her face into his fur. The dog responded with a low, vibrating growl, as if acknowledging her words while still warning them to stay back. The bomb squad moved with painstaking precision. Every step, every motion measured. The officers maintained the perimeter, reinforcing it as more passengers were guided away. The tension in the terminal was almost unbearable. The once lively chatter had been replaced with a heavy silence, broken only by the occasional electronic beep or the frantic growl of Milo. Emily could feel Lily shaking in her arms. "It's okay, baby," she whispered again. "Milo's got us." The little girl buried her face into the dog's fur, sobbing softly. Milo leaned against her, offering warmth and protection, his golden fur a shield between them and the unknown threat. Then, as if sensing the heightened tension, Milo barked sharply, his voice carrying across the terminal. Officers and passengers alike froze, their eyes turning toward him. He barked again, more insistently, his stance unyielding, ears pricked forward, tail rigid. Something about the dog's behavior was different now, urgent, almost frantic. A bomb technician's voice cut through the quiet. "Everyone, stand back. We've located the device, but it's active and unstable. Do not approach." The words sent a ripple of fear through the crowd. Emily hugged Lily tighter, pressing her face into Milo's fur. The dog's growls softened slightly but remained tense, a constant reminder that the threat had not passed. Passengers whispered anxiously, some crying, some holding their phones tightly. One woman whispered to her husband, "Can you believe this? A dog knew before our sensors did." The man shook his head wide-eyed. "I've never seen anything like it in my life." Emily's thoughts raced. Milo had not only detected the threat but had prevented Lily from boarding the plane, possibly saving her life. She couldn't comprehend the depth of the dog's instinct, the sheer accuracy of his warning. She pressed her forehead to Lily's hair and whispered, "He saved us, baby. He really did." The bomb technicians continued their careful approach, tools clicking softly, hands moving deliberately. Milo barked once more, sharp and commanding, then paced slightly, tail rigid, eyes fixed on the jet bridge. Emily watched, heart hammering. She realized with a chilling certainty that Milo wasn't just alerting them. He was guiding them, controlling the perimeter with an intelligence that seemed almost human. Then came the moment that sent shivers down everyone's spines. One technician carefully lifted the bag, revealing wires and components inside. This is live," he said, voice tight. "We've got to contain it immediately." Gasps erupted. Emily pressed Lily closer, tears streaming down her face. Milo leaned protectively against her daughter, growling low in warning, as if trying to communicate the danger in a language no human could understand. Passengers clutched each other, murmuring prayers, their faces pale. Harrison, the airline supervisor, raised his radio. "All personnel evacuate the area immediately. Stand clear. We're proceeding with containment." The crowd moved back, eyes wide, hearts pounding. Every step taken by the bomb squad was deliberate, slow, measured, while Milo remained at the forefront, guarding Lily and Emily with unwavering focus. Emily whispered to Milo, voice trembling, "Thank you. You're our hero, Milo. You saved her." Milo's ears flicked back toward her, then forward again, growling softly. He was not done. His vigilance had not wavered for a second. Minutes passed, each one stretching unbearably. The tension was suffocating. Passengers watched silently, unable to move, unable to speak, caught between awe and fear. Milo continued his protective stance, his eyes locked on the jet bridge, growls vibrating through the floor, a warning to anyone too close and a reassurance to those he guarded. Then the bomb technician turned to his radio. "Prepare for containment. Evacuation required immediately. This device is unstable, every second counts." Milo barked sharply, his stance rigid, as if acknowledging the command, signaling that the next moments would determine whether everyone would be safe. Emily hugged Lily tightly, pressing Milo's head against them both. "We're not moving without you, boy," she whispered. "We're staying right here and we'll get through this." Passengers and officers alike realized the gravity of the situation. Milo's instincts had been correct all along. The dog had detected a threat no human or machine could sense. He had saved lives before anyone even understood the danger. The terminal hung in suspended disbelief, all eyes fixed on the courageous golden retriever who had become their silent protector. Emily closed her eyes, whispering a prayer of gratitude. Milo leaned closer, pressing his body against hers and Lily's. The dog had stopped her daughter from boarding the plane, and in doing so had likely prevented a disaster no one was yet fully aware of. And then the intercom crackled, the calm but tense voice of the bomb squad leader echoing across the terminal. "Containment in progress. All personnel remain clear. Stand by. This is a live device. Every second counts." Milo barked once more, long and commanding, the echo bouncing off the terminal walls. A final warning, a reminder of the danger lurking just beyond the metal door. Emily held Lily close, pressing Milo's head to her chest. "We're okay, baby," she whispered. "He's got us. He's keeping us safe." And in that moment the terminal understood. Milo's instincts weren't just remarkable, they were life-saving. The terminal had grown eerily quiet, every passenger frozen in a mixture of fear and awe. Milo remained steadfast at the center of it all, muscles tense, ears pricked, eyes fixed on the jet bridge door. Emily held Lily tightly, pressing her daughter's small hands into Milo's fur as the dog growled low in warning, guarding them like a sentinel. The airport staff, bomb squad, and officers were moving cautiously, aware that every second counted. A bomb technician approached the service panel beneath the jet bridge cautiously, the metal tools in his gloved hands gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights. He crouched slowly, moving with deliberate care, and lifted a small, inconspicuous bag. Emily's chest tightened as she recognized the tension radiating from Milo. He barked sharply, his body stiffening as though communicating directly to the humans. The dog's instincts were flawless. Emily had always trusted them, but now the gravity of the situation was undeniable. Passengers whispered anxiously behind the police line. Phones were raised, capturing the scene, yet no video could convey the visceral tension, the trembling anticipation, or the silent heroism of a golden retriever standing against unseen danger. A mother clutched her child, eyes wide. "Is it really a bomb?" she asked, voice shaking. The child hid her face in her mother's shoulder. Emily swallowed hard, pressing Lily closer. "Yes, baby," Emily whispered softly. "Milo's stopping us from getting too close. He's protecting us." The bomb technician examined the bag closely, gloved hands steady but careful. Wires protruded faintly from the edges, and a small timer ticked faintly, barely audible over the hum of the terminal. The team leader spoke into his radio, voice clipped and urgent. "This device is live. Approach with extreme caution. Evacuate non-essential personnel immediately." Milo's growls intensified, low and vibrating, echoing through the terminal. Emily felt his body press even closer to Lily's. The little girl buried her face into Milo's fur, sobbing quietly. The dog nudged her gently, offering comfort amid the chaos, yet never breaking his vigil. Every instinct screamed danger. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she realized Milo's reactions were not random. They were precise, life-saving signals. Passengers whispered among themselves, fear and fascination mingling. "That dog," a man muttered. "He actually knows it's live." Another passenger, phone trembling in his hand, murmured, "He saved that little girl." Emily held Lily tightly, pressing Milo's head against her shoulder. "Yes," she whispered. "He saved her. He saved us all." The technician carefully moved the bag onto a containment mat, its surfaces reflecting the fluorescent light. The officers reinforced the perimeter, moving passengers further back. Milo growled, packing slightly, tail stiff, eyes fixed on the device. Emily realized with a terrifying clarity that Milo's instincts were guiding everyone's response. He wasn't just protecting Lily. He was orchestrating caution, ensuring that no human would accidentally trigger the device. Then a sharp click echoed from inside the bag. Emily froze. Milo barked, his growls escalating into urgent, sharp commands. Lily whimpered, holding the dog tightly. "It's okay, baby," Emily whispered. "Milo's here. He knows what to do." The bomb squad leader signaled to his team, motioning for extreme caution. "Do not touch the device directly. Prepare for containment and remote deactivation." The team moved with painstaking care, every motion calculated, the tension in the terminal thick enough to choke. Passengers held their breath, some covering their mouths in shock, others clasping their children, praying silently. Milo barked again, more urgently, tail stiff, body rigid. Emily understood instinctively that the dog was sensing more than just the explosive. It was the presence of chemical agents within the bag, volatile and dangerous. Milo had detected the trace compounds immediately, warning humans who lacked the senses to detect them. Emily's heart swelled with gratitude and fear. She had trained Milo, but she had never imagined the dog could detect danger of this magnitude. The thought that the device might have been triggered if Lily had walked onto the plane was almost unbearable. She pressed Lily closer, whispering, "You're safe, sweetie. Milo's protecting us." The technician carefully examined the bag's wiring. Milo growled low, packing protectively in a tight circle around Lily. Emily watched, awestruck. The dog's instinctive behavior ensured that no one stepped too close or mishandled the device. The air was thick with tension. Sweat ran down Emily's forehead as she pressed her lips to Lily's hair, hopping, praying that Milo's vigilance would be enough. Minutes dragged on. The bomb squad worked meticulously, communicating in clipped tones. Officers kept the crowd back, trying to maintain order. Passengers were silent, the hum of fear and anticipation nearly tangible. Every step, every click of the technician's tools was measured against Milo's responses. The dog's growls and barks served as a warning, guiding humans safely around the potential disaster. Suddenly, a technician glanced at the timer inside the device. "This is unstable," he said quietly, voice tight with tension. "We may have minutes before detonation." Gasps spread through the perimeter. Emily pressed Lily's face into Milo's fur. "It's okay, baby," she whispered. "Milo's keeping us safe." Milo barked again, sharp, commanding, scanning the area. Emily realized he was not just protecting. They were coordinating their actions, instinctively moving to ensure that no one approached the device carelessly. Emily hugged the dog, whispering, "You're amazing, Milo. You're saving lives." The technicians prepared a remote containment device, carefully sliding the bag onto a reinforced platform. Milo growled, packing, tail stiff, never leaving Lily's side. Emily felt her stomach tighten. The next moments would determine the outcome. Milo's instincts had been correct from the start, guiding humans where sensors could not. Passengers whispered in awe and fear. A dog he knew before the experts did. "He's a hero." Emily felt tears streak her cheeks, pressing Lily closer to Milo's warm, protective body. The little girl's sobs quieted slightly, comforted by the dog who had become their guardian. Then a tense silence fell over the terminal. The bomb squad leader lifted the remote containment device slowly, and Milo barked sharply again, packing defensively around Lily. Emily's heart raced. She knew Milo's warning wasn't arbitrary. It was a precise, intelligent assessment of the threat. The dog's instincts had saved them from disaster. Finally, the containment device was in place. The technicians signaled the squad leader, who nodded. "Secure it remotely. Stand clear." Milo barked once more, a final warning, before lowering his body slightly, as if acknowledging that the immediate danger had been contained, but that vigilance was still required. Emily held Lily tightly, tears streaming down her face. "We're okay, baby," she whispered. "He saved us. He really saved us." Milo leaned against them, fur warm, eyes calm now but still alert. The crowd murmured, some whispering prayers, others shaking their heads in disbelief. Passengers and staff alike recognized the heroism in that golden retriever. Milo had stopped a disaster that could have cost lives, detecting a threat even the most advanced technology had missed. Emily stroked his head, voice trembling with gratitude. "Thank you, Milo. You're our hero. You saved her. You saved everyone." But even as relief began to wash over the terminal, a new voice crackled over the officer's radio, tense and urgent. "We've identified the device's origin. Someone planted it intentionally." Emily stiffened. Milo growled softly, tail bristling, eyes darting to the jet bridge. The danger had been neutralized for now, but the story was far from over. Whoever had tried to place that device remained at large. Passengers whispered among themselves. Emily hugged Lily. Milo pressed protectively against them, growling low, sensing the lingering threat. Milo's vigilance had saved lives today, but the mystery of who had planted the device and why was about to unfold. And in that tense moment, Emily realized. Milo hadn't just detected a threat, he had prevented a disaster. But the danger wasn't over, and every second counted. The air in the terminal was thick with tension, a mix of relief and lingering fear. Milo remained vigilant, his golden fur bristled slightly, eyes scanning the jet bridge and the surrounding crowd. Emily held Lily close, her daughter clinging to Milo's side like a lifeline. The little girl's tears had dried, but the fear lingered in her wide brown eyes. Milo's growls, now low and steady, reminded everyone that the threat might have been contained for the moment, but the danger was far from over. The bomb squad leader spoke into his radio, voice sharp with urgency. "We've secured the device for now, but we need to track the source. Surveillance footage, passenger manifests, everyone. We need to find out who planted it and why." Officers began moving swiftly, checking cameras, questioning airline staff, scanning logs. Emily's stomach twisted. Whoever had done this had almost put Lily in mortal danger. Milo pressed against her side, growling softly, sensing her fear and offering comfort. Passengers whispered among themselves, "I can't believe that dog." A man shook his head. "He literally saved lives." Another added, "If Milo hadn't stopped that little girl, we'd all be dead." Emily nodded silently, pressing her face to Milo's fur. She couldn't imagine a world in which she had ignored his instincts. Meanwhile, the airport's security team moved into action, reviewing surveillance footage frame by frame. The technicians worked in tense silence, eyes darting from monitors to the secured device. Milo's ears pricked at every footstep, every shuffled bag. He sensed movement, tension, and uncertainty in the air, warning Emily and Lily when strangers approached too closely. The dog's instincts had not failed once, and Emily trusted them implicitly. Suddenly, a junior officer called out, voice trembling slightly. "There's a suspicious figure on the footage, ma'am. He was near gate C12 earlier carrying a bag." Emily's heart sank. Milo growled low and steadily, staring at the gate as if recognizing something invisible to human eyes. Lily clutched his fur, whispering, "Is he going to come back?" Emily shook her head, trying to reassure her daughter. "I don't know, baby, but Milo's here. He's keeping us safe." The little girl hugged the dog tightly, breathing into his fur, trusting him completely. Milo nudged her gently, growling softly, his instincts urging vigilance even after the immediate danger had been neutralized. The bomb squad leader moved to the secured device. "We'll transport it to a secure location," he said, "but we need to evacuate this area for now. Everyone stay calm." Officers moved passengers further back while Emily and Lily remained close to Milo. She whispered, "We're okay for now, baby. Milo's still here. We'll get through this." As the crowd shifted, Emily noticed the tension in the air intensify. Milo's growls became sharper, his eyes darting to the terminal entrance. He sensed something, or someone approaching. Emily's pulse quickened. She followed his gaze and saw a man in a dark coat moving quickly but purposefully toward the scene, eyes scanning the perimeter as if he was looking for someone specific. Milo's body stiffened. His growls turned into low, warning barks. "Mom, who is that?" Lily whispered, clutching Milo. Emily's stomach twisted. "I don't know, baby, but Milo senses danger. Stay close." The man moved with intent, dodging passengers and staff, trying to blend in. But Milo's instincts were precise. He barked sharply, charging slightly, placing himself between Lily, Emily, and the approaching stranger. The terminal erupted into controlled panic. Officers shouted, passengers froze, and phones captured every moment. The man hesitated, glancing around, realizing he was being observed. Milo growled again, teeth slightly bared, stance unwavering. Emily pressed Lily closer to the dog, whispering, "He won't let anyone hurt us, baby. Milo's got us." The man reached into his coat suddenly. Milo barked louder, leaping forward slightly, warning with teeth and instinct. Emily's heart raced. The stranger froze, eyes wide, realizing Milo was more than just a dog, he was a guardian. Officers rushed toward him, shouting commands. The man panicked, attempting to flee, but Milo's growls and presence kept him rooted in place long enough for security to intercept. Emily exhaled shakily, holding Lily close. Milo relaxed slightly but remained alert, ears pricked, eyes scanning. He had neutralized the immediate threat, the suspicious man, and ensured Lily's safety. Passengers whispered, awe and gratitude mixing with lingering fear. "That dog, he's incredible," one woman murmured. Another added, "He's a hero." The security team moved quickly to apprehend the man, restraining him while checking his bag and coat. The bomb squad technician examined his belongings carefully. Emily watched, Milo pressed against her side, growls soft but persistent. Her mind raced. How close had they come to tragedy? How had Milo known with such precision, with such clarity, what was dangerous and what was? Lily looked up at Milo, eyes wide. "He saved me, didn't he, Milo?" Milo nudged her gently, tail wagging slightly as if to say, "Yes, I did." Emily hugged them both, tears streaming down her cheeks. She whispered, "You saved us, both of you. I don't know how we'll ever thank you enough." The officers escorted the suspect away, and the terminal slowly returned to cautious normalcy. Passengers murmured among themselves, praising Milo, some filming, some sharing the story with friends nearby. Emily knew that, while the immediate danger had passed, the questions about who had planted the device and why were just beginning. Milo's vigilance never wavered. Even as passengers slowly returned to their gates, he remained by Lily's side, his golden fur a constant shield. Emily stroked his head, whispering, "You're amazing, Milo. You saved lives today. You saved my daughter." Milo leaned into her, growling softly, as if acknowledging her words while still scanning for any lingering threats. The bomb squad carefully transported the device to a secure location, ensuring it could be defused safely. Officers continued to review surveillance footage, piecing together the timeline. Emily watched from the perimeter, holding Lily, marveling at the dog who had stopped a tragedy before it could begin. Milo's instincts, honed over years of training, had made the difference between life and death. And yet, the story was far from over. Whoever had planted the device remained at large, and the question of motive loomed over the terminal. Emily's heart raced, knowing that Milo's vigilance would be tested again if the threat extended further. The dog's instinct had already prevented disaster, but Emily realized that they were only at the beginning of uncovering the truth. As officers questioned passengers and examined footage, Emily whispered to Lily, "We're okay for now, baby. Milo saved us, but we'll find out why this happened and who did it." Lily hugged Milo tightly, sobbing softly, comforted by his warmth and protection. Milo nudged her gently, tail wagging slightly, signaling reassurance and readiness to act again if necessary. Emily felt a deep sense of gratitude and awe. Milo had not just protected her daughter, he had prevented a catastrophe, detecting a threat invisible to humans and machines alike. Every growl, every bark, every instinctive move had been precise and life-saving. But the race against time wasn't over. The suspect had been apprehended, but questions remained. Who had planted the device? Why target this flight? How close had they come to disaster? Emily hugged Lily and Milo tightly, realizing that their lives had been irrevocably changed by a dog's instinct and loyalty. And as the terminal buzzed with cautious relief, Milo remained alert, vigilant, a golden guardian who had already proven that courage and instinct could save lives in ways no one could have imagined. The suspect had been escorted away in handcuffs, flanked by officers whose expressions were a mix of triumph and lingering tension. Yet for Emily, the relief was incomplete. Milo remained rigid at her side, ears pricked, eyes darting to every corner of the terminal. He wasn't done. His instincts were still on high alert, scanning for anything amiss. Emily pressed Lily close, whispering, "He's still watching, baby. We're safe, but we're not done yet." The bomb squad technicians had transported the device to a secure location, but the questions now loomed larger than ever. Who had planted it? Why target Lily's flight? And how had Milo sensed the danger so precisely? The airport's security team worked frantically, analyzing footage, checking manifests, and coordinating with federal authorities. Emily watched from the perimeter, clutching Lily's hand, feeling the weight of uncertainty. An airport investigator approached Emily cautiously. "Ma'am," he said, voice professional but tinged with awe, "we're reviewing surveillance footage and the suspect's history. We'll need a statement from you and your daughter about what happened, especially about your dog's behavior." Emily nodded, glancing down at Milo. "He saved her life, that's all I know." Milo leaned against Lily protectively, his golden fur a warm, steadying presence. The little girl hugged him tightly, whispering, "Thank you, Milo, you saved me." Milo nuzzled her gently, tail wagging slightly as if acknowledging her gratitude. Meanwhile, the suspect was being interrogated in a secure room. The officers discovered his bag contained plans and tools suggesting a targeted attack on a specific flight. Federal authorities were alerted, piecing together a timeline. Emily's stomach twisted as she realized just how close they had come to catastrophe. Milo had detected danger invisible to humans, and thanks to his instincts, disaster had been averted. Inside the terminal, passengers whispered among themselves, many capturing the unfolding events on phones. "That dog, he literally stopped a bomb from going off," one man murmured. "I've never seen anything like it." Another added, "He's a hero." Emily hugged Lily tightly, feeling tears prick her eyes. Milo pressed himself closer, growling softly as if to reassure them both. The investigation revealed something chilling. The suspect had selected the flight carefully, knowing that a little girl was scheduled to board. His motive was twisted, targeting families in a horrifying act of terror. Emily's heart raced as she absorbed the implications. If Milo hadn't stopped Lily, the outcome could have been catastrophic. The golden retriever's instincts had been precise, life-saving, and beyond explanation. A federal agent approached Emily with a tablet displaying security footage. "Ma'am, we need to document your dog's behavior. He acted with incredible precision, preventing your daughter from boarding. This footage will be crucial in understanding how he sensed the threat." Emily nodded, still processing the reality of the situation. Milo remained by Lily's side, vigilant, ears flicking at every sound. Lily whispered softly, "Mom, Milo knew, he just knew." Emily kissed the top of her daughter's head. "Yes, baby, he saved your life. He saved all of us." Milo wagged his tail slightly, eyes bright, a silent acknowledgement of their bond and the incredible trust they shared. The suspect, under interrogation, revealed part of his plan, confirming that the device had been intentionally placed to cause maximum harm to a specific passenger, Lily. Emily's breath caught in her throat. The realization sent a shiver down her spine. Milo had sensed danger that no human could detect, stopping Lily from boarding just in time. His instincts had prevented a tragedy that could have been unimaginable. Back in the terminal, passengers began to murmur, expressing gratitude and awe. "That dog, he's incredible," one woman whispered. Another added, "He's a hero." Emily hugged Milo tightly, tears streaming down her face. "You saved her," she whispered. "You saved my daughter." Milo leaned into her, growling softly, tail wagging slightly, still alert but calm for the first time since the chaos began. The federal agent turned to Emily. "Ma'am, we'll be following up with a full report. Your dog's actions are extraordinary. This could help in training and understanding K9 behavior in preventing future attacks." Emily nodded, overwhelmed by emotion. Milo had not only saved her daughter but had provided a lesson in instinct, loyalty, and bravery that could save countless others. Meanwhile, the airport began to return to normal, though a quiet tension lingered. Passengers resumed their gates cautiously, some still in shock, others sharing stories of the heroic golden retriever who had saved a little girl from certain danger. Emily and Lily walked slowly through the terminal, Milo at their side, every eye turning toward the dog in admiration and awe. Emily whispered to Lily, "We're okay now, baby. Milo kept us safe, he's our hero." Lily hugged Milo tightly, her small hands pressing into his fur. "I love you, Milo," she whispered. Milo nudged her gently, tail wagging slightly, a silent affirmation of the bond between them. The investigation continued, revealing that the suspect had planned the attack meticulously. But thanks to Milo's instincts, timing, and courage, the potential disaster had been averted. Emily's heart swelled with gratitude, realizing that a dog's loyalty and intuition had prevented a tragedy that human eyes alone could not have seen in time. Federal authorities praised Milo's actions, calling him an example of extraordinary canine heroism. Emily hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You saved her life," she whispered. Milo pressed his head to her chest, growling softly as if to say, "I did what I had to do." Passengers in the terminal began to approach Emily and Milo, offering gratitude and admiration. "He's incredible," one man said. "I can't believe what just happened." Emily smiled through tears, hugging Milo once more. "He's more than incredible," she replied. "He's our hero." And as the terminal slowly settled into cautious calm, Milo remained alert, vigilant, a golden guardian who had not only saved a life but had shown the world the power of instinct, loyalty, and courage. Emily pressed her face to his fur, whispering, "Thank you, Milo. Thank you for saving my daughter." Milo nuzzled her gently, tail wagging slightly, a silent acknowledgement of the bond that had carried them through the most terrifying moments of their lives. But even as relief washed over them, the truth remained. The danger had been real, the threat intentional, and Milo's courage had been the only reason disaster had been avoided. The golden retriever's instincts, unwavering loyalty, and precise actions had turned a potential tragedy into a story of heroism that would be remembered by everyone in that terminal and beyond. The terminal was slowly returning to life. The echo of anxious whispers had been replaced with tentative laughter, relieved sighs, and the occasional clink of luggage rolling toward departing gates. But for Emily, Lily, and Milo, the adrenaline still coursed through their veins. The golden retriever had gone beyond ordinary loyalty. He had acted as a protector, a sentinel, a guardian whose instincts had saved countless lives that day. Passengers continued to look in awe at Milo as Emily hugged him tightly, feeling the warmth of his fur and the strength of his presence. Lily clutched him close, her tiny hands buried in his golden coat. "I love you, Milo," she whispered again, tears still glistening in her eyes. Milo leaned into her, nudging her gently as if to say, "I'll always be here for you." Airport staff and security personnel gathered around cautiously, shaking their heads in disbelief. Officers spoke in low tones about what had happened, praising Milo's incredible instincts. One senior officer approached Emily, holding a small badge shaped like a paw. "This is for him," he said, voice full of admiration. "For courage, vigilance, and saving a life today. Milo has earned it." Emily's eyes welled with tears as she pinned the badge on Milo's collar. He wagged his tail slightly, a quiet acknowledgement of the honor bestowed upon him. The story had already begun to spread. Social media buzzed with clips of the golden retriever barking, guiding Lily away from the jet bridge, and standing alert while the bomb squad neutralized the device. Comments ranged from shock to awe. "That dog saved a child's life," one post read. "Milo is a hero," another said. Emily had to step back from her phone, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of people recognizing the courage of a dog who had acted without hesitation when lives were on the line. Federal authorities had completed their initial debrief, confirming that the device had been intentionally placed to harm Lily and other passengers. The suspect would face charges that could lead to decades in prison. Emily shivered, realizing how close they had come to disaster, and how Milo had prevented it with nothing more than instinct, loyalty, and courage. She knelt beside him, pressing her forehead against his golden fur. "You saved her life, Milo. You saved her life today," she whispered, voice choked with emotion. Lily echoed her words softly. "Thank you, Milo," she said, wrapping herself around the dog's neck. Milo leaned into the embrace, growling softly, protective even now, though the immediate danger had passed. Across the terminal, passengers approached, offering gratitude and small tokens of appreciation, flowers, treats, and heartfelt words. Some filmed, others shook their heads in awe. The terminal's atmosphere shifted from tension and fear to admiration and respect for the courage of one remarkable dog. Emily realized in that moment that Milo's actions had changed lives, not just hers and Lily's, but everyone who had witnessed his bravery. A reporter approached cautiously, microphone in hand. "Ma'am, can we get a statement?" she asked. Emily nodded, still holding Milo. "He saved my daughter," she said, voice trembling but steady. "He sensed danger when no human could. Milo is not just a dog, he's our hero, our guardian. We owe him everything." The reporter nodded, capturing the moment, while Milo remained still, alert, tail flicking gently, ears pricked. Security footage and photos were shared with news agencies. Clips of Milo standing firm, guiding Lily away from the potential disaster, went viral. People across the country were captivated by the story of a dog whose instincts had saved a child's life and prevented a catastrophic event. Emily watched, overwhelmed, as stories of gratitude and admiration poured in from viewers nationwide. Milo had become more than a pet. He had become a symbol of courage and loyalty. Later, Emily, Lily, and Milo were escorted to a quiet area of the terminal. Lily sat on a bench, Milo at her feet, still alert, ears twitching at every sound. Emily hugged them both, feeling the warmth of their bond and the depth of the love between them. "We're okay now," she whispered. "Thanks to him, we're okay." Lily rested her head against Milo, whispering, "He's my hero forever." Federal authorities had completed their initial reports, praising Milo's role in preventing the disaster. Emily was invited to meet with officials who handled K-9 units and airport security, discussing Milo's actions and the unique instincts that had allowed him to detect the threat. They marveled at his precision, his timing, and the bond he shared with Lily, a bond that had ensured she stayed safe when danger was imminent. As the sun set over the terminal, painting the glass walls in gold and orange hues, Emily held Milo and Lily close. The airport, once filled with panic and fear, now carried an air of reverent calm. Passengers were returning to their gates, some still discussing the heroics of a golden retriever who had defied odds, training, and human expectations to prevent a disaster. Milo, ever vigilant, nuzzled Emily's hand, tail wagging gently. He had been a guardian, a protector, and now a national hero in the eyes of those who had witnessed his courage. Emily whispered softly, tears glistening, "We can never thank you enough, Milo. You saved her life. You saved all of us today." Milo leaned against them, eyes calm but alert, ears twitching slightly at distant sounds. In the days that followed, news outlets and social media platforms celebrated Milo. Stories highlighted his bravery, instinct, and loyalty. Emily and Lily appeared in interviews, praising Milo's extraordinary courage. People across the country sent messages of thanks, sharing stories of their own pets and the ways animals had impacted their lives. Milo's story resonated deeply, reminding everyone of the power of instinct, love, and devotion. The bond between Emily, Lily, and Milo grew even stronger. They knew that the golden retriever had not only saved a life, but had forever altered the course of their lives. Milo had acted without hesitation, driven by instinct and loyalty. He had sensed danger where humans could not, and had protected Lily with unwavering courage. At a ceremony organized by the airport and local authorities, Milo was awarded a Medal of Bravery, engraved with his name and the words, "For extraordinary courage and life-saving instincts." Emily and Lily stood proudly beside him as officers, passengers, and media gathered to honor the hero who had prevented a tragedy. Milo, calm yet alert, wagged his tail, ears pricked, eyes scanning the crowd, ready to act if needed. As Emily hugged Milo once more, she whispered, "You are more than a dog. You are our hero, our guardian, and our family." Lily hugged him tightly, resting her head against his golden fur. Milo nudged her gently, a silent affirmation of the bond that had carried them through fear, chaos, and uncertainty. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the terminal, Milo stood proudly by Emily and Lily, a golden beacon of courage, loyalty, and love. He had saved a life, prevented a disaster, and reminded the world that true heroism often comes on four paws, with instincts that surpass human understanding. The story of Milo, the dog who stopped a little girl from boarding a plane moments before a potential disaster, would be remembered for years to come. His heroism, instincts and unwavering loyalty had saved a child, inspired countless people, and proven that sometimes heroes come in unexpected forms. Emily hugged Milo one final time that evening, whispering softly, "We'll never forget today, and we'll never forget you, Milo. You're our hero forever." Milo leaned into her, tail wagging, ears alert, eyes shining with the quiet, unassuming pride of one who had done what was right without expectation, only love and loyalty. The terminal settled into calm, but the legend of a golden retriever named Milo, who saved a life and prevented a tragedy, would echo far beyond its walls. A story of bravery, instinct, and love that would inspire and awe anyone who heard it.